Out of all the good habits that I managed to cultivate in my life, this one is the one that I'm most grateful for. It completely changed my life. If you go through many videos about habits of successful people, you will notice some commonalities, but there's one habit that comes up every single time. A lot of successful people read, and they read a lot. Take Warren Buffett, who reads around 70% of his work time, or Bill Gates, who retires to the woods for weeks every year to catch up on his reading. Reading is powerful for several reasons. As humans, our problems often seem unique to us. We might be starting a business or going through the divorce or trying to build a relationship. And I can see why these problems might seem unique to us because we are going through them for the first time. But it's highly likely that someone already went through these problems before. Someone before us built business, formed relationship, or went through divorce. It's likely that someone had already made the similar mistakes and had similar struggles. And it's highly likely that that someone was smarter than us. Books is the collective knowledge of the humankind, so why not learn from the best and the smartest in different fields? The two most common answers that I hear from people when I ask them what was the last thing that you read is that I don't have time for reading and I don't have money for buying books. If any of us would check our screen time, I think we would all realize that we actually do have the time for reading. Right now, at this moment, you can pause your video and check how much screen time you spent on your phone today. Then, how much of this time you were using productively and how much of it slipped away. Here's your time for reading. On a serious note, if you would like to get more reading done, think of it in the same way as of sleeping, eating, or taking a shower. These are just the things that must get done. And if it's hard to implement at the beginning, you can schedule your reading time and set the small incremental goals around it. I personally try to read 10 pages a day. That's all. If I'm interested, I carry on. And if not, well, I'm done for the day and I can come back to it tomorrow with a fresh mind. The other way to get more reading time in is to use the passive time that you have, like commuting, waiting for the dinner to get cooked in the oven, or maybe when waiting for the dentist appointment. You can always use the time gaps when you're waiting. The other common excuse that I hear is that the books are expensive. But are they? I calculated the price of all the books that I bought last year and it barely amounted to $200. On a grand scale of my yearly spendings, $200 is not that much. And the mindset that I like to use here is seeing books as an investment. This is exactly the same mindset that my parents had when I was a kid and I was going to my English classes. They could not always afford it and there were difficult financial situations, but I had to have my English class and for them this was a non-negotiable priority because they saw it as an important investment. This $200 can easily be spent on another piece of clothing that we might not need or a makeup item. The key question to ask here is, what are your priorities? And if you're still not convinced about buying books, you don't have to. I'm sure there's a library in your local area where you can find the books that interest you. And not only paper books if you're a fan of the e-readers. In the fast-moving world, the information changes in different professional fields. Every 5-6 months there are new strategies, new approaches, new research, and it's really not that easy to be on the top of your field and to be a linchpin. But it does get easier with one book at a time.